Hey guys, what's going on? Back again with another Cold War video, and this is going to be my final recap for Cold War. A couple people have done the same thing on YouTube. I figured I'll make my own. It's going to probably pretty much be more of a overview. I know some people have done like top 10, top 5, top things that they liked or didn't like, but I feel like it's those people that do that is they're just struggling for content, and it's just maybe nitpicking at certain things like. I know they do it a lot in like Warzone and Blackout in the past, where like the sun's too bright, the sky's too bright, the grass is too green. So that people start nitpicking when it comes to games and stuff like that, just looking for content, just to be controversial, just to kind of get more views, get people emotionally invested in their videos. But I'm just gonna do an overview. I'm not going to talk too much about maybe negative or positive, maybe just things that I liked. First and foremost, I guess the most obvious is Forsaken, the end cutscene. If you haven't seen it, it probably makes up for a lot of stuff that we've had in the past. Maybe what people think of Black Ops 4 and, having like non CGI cutscenes, and maybe the exfil being the only type of cutscenes that we got in Cold War. And I know I'm mixing Black Ops 4 and Cold War, but I'm just talking about zombies generally in the last few years. The cutscene went above and beyond what we should have gotten, which was amazing. Very emotional, very gave a lot of answers, created a lot of new answers. So I think one of the bright spots for sure was the end cutscene. How Call of Duty Treyarch and Activision were really nice to give us like a 5-6 minute cutscene, I think. So that was really nice. Probably, obviously, the most memorable. Aside from the Die Machine trailer, and that's the other thing, the Die Machine trailer that kicked off Cold War was just amazing. It's probably around 8 million views in a year, which is pretty nice. I think the second most popular video for Call of Duty and Zombies is Transit, ironically enough, and that's about 8 million views also, or 9 million views in the last like 10 years. So for one video to get that many views in 1 year, to equal up to 10 years of the previous, zombies and stuff like that is pretty amazing. Obviously, the map was great. The Easter egg is moderate. I mean, it's not super easy. It's moderate because I tried it the other day just for the heck of it, and I ended up dying in the last stage where you got stage or last part where you have to protect I forget his name, but you have to protect while he's repairing the machine and stuff like that. So those were kind of like the two bright spots right off the bat that I can think of is Forsaken, and the map is pretty laid out, pretty nice, and they put a couple like throwbacks or homages to Transit also. Ironically enough, because the town, I guess, somewhat supposed to maybe mimic how Transit was, and there's a billboard that like looks like Transit and has a couple quotes from Transit and stuff like that. So, and Burger Town is iconic. To give the fans Burger Town in a zombies map is pretty cool. And I know a lot of people say that um, that Forsaken was just ripped from Campaign, but the story doesn't even really tie into Campaign. I think it was put in Campaign for maybe eventually down the road they would use it for zombies, or just to have its own story. Because Campaign has layers upon layers upon layers, like zombies does. So it's in there. The building is in there in Campaign. It also has its own, lore and backstory, which I'm not going to mention. You can probably figure it out yourself if you do some research. But again, it's amazing. The steps are easy. You can. It reminds me of Extinction, where Extinction is difficult at some parts, but you can pretty much defeat each round of Extinction. If you have a good group, or even probably by solos, and you just kind of rank up and stuff like that. Kind of same thing with your perks in Forsaken and Cold War. If you just rank up your perks and your skills throughout the months, then you'll have a pretty good easy time defeating some of these Easter eggs. And that's what it reminded me of Extinction, in the sense again that if you, it's easy, but again it's still kind of hard because you can get overwhelmed. You just make the wrong move, and that's it, game over, or you're going to be downed. And same thing with Extinction in the past is you make the wrong move or run out of bullets or something like that, then you can get down and game over. But aside from that, it's still an easy mode and stuff like that. So those are really the two bright spots. Again, I'm gonna go touch base Firebase Z. It was cool to see Orta, to answer some questions that people had. Was an Easter egg in Die Machine. Pretty easy map, really easy map because there's a big open circle by the crashed helicopter, and then you can train there, so it's relatively easy map. That might have been actually the most easy map in in the whole year. And then there was Mauer Toten, which is really cool, another great end cutscene. So that was something that was really special to see Valentina and some of the story, uh, and to see Valentina's story and stuff like that. Valentina, I know I would love Valentina to come to COD Mobile or something like that. Put her in the story. That'd be kind of cool if they're not done with her, because I still have my suspicions that Valentina might actually somehow still be alive somewhere, or that might not even have been Valentina that we defeated in in Mauer Toten. But then again, I've mentioned before, video game devs don't like repeating the same story over and over again. They want to move on to new, different things. They want to build their portfolio, build their resume. They don't want their resumes to say, "Hey, we we made like Valentina in the same story over and over like 3 different times," and stuff like that. Uh, I know fans would love that. They would love to get Transit every year, probably Blood of the Dead every year. But that really hurts game developers. They don't build a portfolio. They don't create their own unique content. They're constantly making content from the past and stuff like that repeated. So those are the couple, I guess, basically the round-based maps. Again, I mentioned this in my rankings that I did of the zombie maps in the past. Outbreak is just on a whole nother level. Again, it's just brought in a whole new group of people. It's pretty fun, easy, relaxing, and the way to sum up for me Outbreak is that you drop into Outbreak and 6 hours later it's like you're still playing and it's still fun and easy and relaxing. Outbreak, and I said this too, ironically, Outbreak reminds me of the Dark Ether, where time just works differently when you're playing Outbreak. You're just there for like, you can literally play Outbreak for like 10 hours straight, and it's only going to feel like you were playing it for like 2 or 3 hours. It's very fun, easy, relaxing, and that's how I sum up Outbreak. And sometimes I've mentioned this, I wish I worked for Treyarch or Call of Duty, because they do need some better, maybe, ad campaigns or slogans and stuff like that, because Outbreak, it feels like you're in the dark ether, and it makes time go so fast. Like you really have to watch how much time, or it's fun to play it on a Sunday evening, maybe Saturday night if you're not going out. You can sit and play Outbreak for literally, again, like 10 hours. So Outbreak is really fun. Looking for the intel was great. I don't have any complaints about Outbreak. Not that I would have really complaints about anything. The only thing about Outbreak would be if they put like competitive um, zombies on the Outbreak maps. I don't think they're ever going to touch Cold War again, but I would say that would put Outbreak over the top is if we had like Blackout almost on some of the Outbreak maps, where like maybe you get 2 teams, you loot, you have to kill each other, or maybe do like a 50 versus 50 on the Outbreak with zombies. I don't know why they don't tap into the whole competitive um, aspect of Outbreak. I'm not saying like grief mode, but to drop in 50 versus 50, or put zombies in the multiplayer mode, maybe. I know people will complain, so it's tough, and I understand that might be the answer there. You can't put zombies in fire team because people are just going to complain about zombies. You can't put competitive 50 versus 50 in zombies, because then people are going to complain. Why are you putting competition or competitive. This is at multiplayer, you know, all that nonsense. But I think, or maybe just have it for the fans. I would even pay for it if you said to me like, "Hey, you're gonna make a competitive zombies mode and charge people or something for it, or an exclusive somehow." I think that would be kind of cool. Other stuff, campaign was really amazing. I think what really for me carried campaign is the characters, seeing Mason and Woods. I can't imagine Cold War without the Treyarch, you know, Mason, Woods, Weaver. It would have been like people, a lot of zombie YouTubers hate on Cold War, but imagine if it didn't have the Treyarch characters in it. I don't really know what I'm doing in the in this thing right here in the footage, but to have Woods, Mason um, in there is pretty cool. To get also Samantha Max's as a, well, she wasn't in campaign, but to get some of the campaign characters in it was pretty amazing. I still got to finish a couple parts of the campaign, but the campaign is really good. And I know there's deep layers and lore of campaign, so I need to finish that up, learn more about it, maybe before the next game comes out. And then again, the last thing is multiplayer. Multiplayer is just awesome. It's just when you have really good modes like Zombies, Outbreak, Dead Ops, Arcade. Um, I think what I think my issue is, to sum up multiplayer, is I'm really good at multiplayer, and I said this for the last couple of years. If I were younger, I would probably be worth a lot more money because of my multiplayer skills. And I think when you play video games, or when I play it to get better. Um, and I think I'm already peaked when it comes to multiplayer. I mean, I don't have any complaints. I know people complain about multiplayer because they're not good at it and they need to work on getting better, and they don't want to work on getting better. So that's why I kind of, in a way, put multiplayer to the side, is because I don't need to work on my multiplayer game. And that's why you play. You play to get better. But I think with zombies, you want to learn about the story. You want to see how much can you complete the Easter egg, and maybe that's something they should tap into, make multiplayer more enjoyable. If people are complaining about it, is have I don't know if you could do any cutscenes or anything like that. I mean, they already do that, but like um, maybe the winning team should get some type of cutscene or some type of reward or something like that. Or maybe do I know they already do tournaments, but as far as like making people complain less about multiplayer, I know you have to rank up and you unlock weapons and stuff like that, and there's challenges you can do. Um, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really have any complaints because everything can be explained correctly. Um, but for me, I do zombies multiplayer than campaign. I throw in Dead Ops Arcade there once in a while, and that's probably pretty much my cycle of, or game cycle for each game. Uh, but the thing that, like, the zombie story is just so good. I think that's why people pick that one first. And then this year it's a lot easier to play zombies and to jump on and not be overwhelmed. The Easter eggs were easy. I'm just thinking about ways that maybe get more people engaged in multiplayer, or less complainy about multiplayer. I don't know, like, how they can maybe mix it up with zombies, or make it similar to zombies, that you want to maybe get a cutscene, or maybe like multiplayer should be almost like a campaign multiplayer. Maybe bring back that mode that was in World at War, where you can hop on together, or something like that. But that's more campaign. That's not really multiplayer. Um, or I know it already has a story. I don't know if maybe you have to unlock the cutscenes. Um, but then again, then that's gonna cut into the zombie time. So again, this was just kind of like me really just rambling different thoughts on different things. Not really a ranking system or anything like that. Again, the main points um, is the Forsaken map was pretty amazing, and the cutscene was really amazing. Like I said, they went above and beyond what they needed to do, and it was pretty amazing. A lot of questions answered, a lot of them more questions and stuff like that. So I'm definitely grateful for everything they did this year. It was a really cool game. And I think that's the thing. That might be last thing I want to talk about is the hype for Vanguard. I think any other year, people will be like super hyped for Vanguard and the new zombies, but I think Forsaken was just so like um, recent and so cool and fun that like people are like maybe they're not ready for the next zombies that maybe in a way should be like 2 years. Nah, I mean that's kind of what it is. Maybe it's just me, or maybe I'm just anxious at the same time for the new zombies. But I'm gonna wrap it up there. I'll see you guys later.